What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the OG family. Make sure y'all smash that like button, subscribe to my channel only if you want to. But look, my beautiful people, we got this top 10 celebrities that are mean in real life. You feel me? Some people might think I'm mean in real life too, man, because I'm antisocial. No, I'm just playing. It's only if you get weird with me, then, you know what I'm saying, I get weird back with you. We just do some weird things. But yeah, let's, hold on, pause. Let's just get into this video, though.
Which I'm not even going to say the name of.
And make sure that y'all subscribe to Inform Overload too as well, or check out it. It'll be in the description down below.
Okay, since you guys liked part 1 and part 2 so much, I decided to make a part 3. Because there's just so many stories of celebrities being mean in real life out there. I truly think this series could go on forever. Hey, what's up, Iowers? It's Mackenzie here, and today on the channel, I'm going to be listing for the 3rd time the top 10 celebrities that are mean in real life. But before I get into it, I did want to reiterate again that I have no way of knowing if a lot of these stories are true. As with most of them, there's no proof other than the person's word, so take all these stories with a grain of salt. Okay, also make sure to like and subscribe down below. Now I'm going to get into the tea you're all waiting for. Starting off with number 10, Jared Leto. Since a few of you said that I should have included Jared Leto in my part 2, here he is in part 3. So this one is straight from his Mean Stars profile, which I talked a bit about before, where he has a few comments from people.
Hold on, they got a thing called Mean Stars profile? I gotta go look at that now.
That they had really bad interactions with him. So one of the people on Mean Stars wrote, quote, "I went to see 30 Seconds to Mars a few years ago and got front row tickets. The band was autographing things after the show, so I waited in line. They all talked amongst themselves as they absentmindedly signed autographs. When I got to Jared Leto, I said, hey, that was a great show. He responded, quote, I signed your shit, now F off. Okay, what? This is just unreal to me. Like, I think I'm actually speechless about this one. Like, how could he actually say that to a fan? Jared, come on. Then next up at number 9, Michael Phelps. So Michael Phelps is another celebrity that is known for having quite a mean streak. And it's so bad that another athlete felt the need to call him out publicly about it. In an interview, Ronda Rousey was asked if there was an Olympian that wasn't very nice, but they had a public persona of being nice. Without hesitation, she replied, Michael Phelps kind of annoyed me. Then she went on to tell a story of when she was in Beijing for the Olympics, and the American team was mingling together at a club. And she said the only Olympian that did not interact with the rest of the group was Phelps. Rousey commented further, saying, quote, Michael Phelps needed his own private section of the club to be like private for him. All of these NBA players...
That's because he was high, man. First of all, Michael Phelps, he had a couple blunts or some edibles and he went fucking with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Look.
Are a bigger deal than this guy, and they're hanging out with the rest of us. She added, we're your teammates. We're not a bunch of groupies. Come hang out with us, she said. And then, since she did not already shade him enough, she continued that the same thing happened on the Oprah Winfrey show. When a bunch of Olympians were on the show, Phelps again was held back in a private area so that he wouldn't have to be harassed by the other Olympians. Then, after all of this came out, Phelps spoke to Details magazine, where he admitted that he used to contrive early exits from practice and sneak out the back door, presumably so he could get to the club early and avoid running into Ronda Rousey. And guys, trust me when I say there's a lot more stories about Phelps. So yeah, I'm assuming...
Why would you want to avoid Ronda Rousey, bro? I would have been trying to left foot right foot slide. You know what I'm saying? Like, you tripping.
Pretty mean in real life. Next up at number 8, Deadmau5. So this is another story from a Mean Stars profile. So this post is a bit on the longer side, so I'm going to kind of summarize it. Basically, this person is a producer, and he wanted to give a demo to Deadmau5. So he went to a show in his city, and after Deadmau5 was done performing, people formed a line for him to sign things. Then when it came down to this person's turn, he said, quote, I don't have anything for you to sign, but I would like to say that you are an inspiration to me. So I'd like to share with you some of the music that I produced, which has been inspired by your production. And the person handed him the CD, and Deadmau5 looked super confused. Before he replied, quote, this is a signing, not a demo showcase. Either I sign this or you mail it to me, the person stated. The person then stated, I was taken aback by his rudeness and just shyly responded, I'd rather you keep it. He turned back to his tag-along friends and said, can you believe this guy? While chuckling. His friends kind of awkwardly laughed along with him while giving me this awkward look as if to say, I'm so sorry. I was so upset that I nearly punched the dude right there. I just walked away instead. I was so upset I felt ill. Then the person continued that he wasn't getting handed demos, must be kind of annoying, but he's given out a bunch of demos to people way more famous than Deadmau5 and was always treated with respect. So yeah, this is really rude to me. Like, even if Deadmau5 didn't end up doing anything with the CD, he could have...
Hey man, just because you somebody though, for real, somebody hands you a demo, like, this is somebody that's putting all their effort into and they're believing in something, And when they finally see somebody that, you know what I'm saying, not even saying you can put them in that position to be great or whatever, you can just see, these people just want you to listen to it. So stop being disrespectful. That's crazy, man. Like, cause you've probably been there before. If you're an artist or something like that and you're accomplished, you've probably been there before. That's fucked up.
Just taken it. Like, it would have been less effort than getting into this random argument in the middle of the signing, in my opinion. And at number 7, Jennifer Lawrence. So Jennifer Lawrence is another person that is well known for being rude to fans when seen out in public. And I'm absolutely confident that this one is true because she literally admitted it herself in an interview. In a video interview she did with Adam Sandler for Variety, she admitted that, quote, "Once I enter a public place, I become incredibly rude. I turn into a huge a-hole," she added. Adding that it's her way of defending herself. She continued, quote, "They say, 'Can I have a selfie?' And I'm like, 'No,' Jen said." And this is not the first time she's admitted to being very defensive when she runs into fans. In an interview with the Daily Telegraph, Jennifer echoed similar sentiments of fans feeling too close to her because she's a public person. She said, quote, "I think that people think that we are already friends because I'm famous and they feel like they already know me, but I don't know them." She said, "I have to protect my bubble. Like, I have a weird job. I don't let this be reality." And I can definitely, see where she's coming from here, as fans can definitely get really dangerous and there can be really scary encounters sometimes. For instance, if someone were to post a selfie of her, then everyone in the world potentially could know exactly where she is at that exact time. But I think there's still a way to be kind about the situation instead of being just an a-hole to people that literally just appreciate you, like your fans. Next up at number 6.
I mean, I feel like that's part of your job too, handling your fans though. Like, you can't be like that, you know? Like, even when I get awkward, I still be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Give them a hug or something like that, you know what I'm saying? If you want one, you feel me? But yeah, like, you just gotta learn how to interact with people, man.
Cameron Diaz. So this one's on the shorter side, but apparently Cameron Diaz is well known for not giving autographs and being really rude to anyone that asks for one. One person commented on an interaction that they had with Diaz, saying, quote, "Cameron Diaz may be a talented actress, but she's persistently a terrible signer. Instead of just turning down a person's autograph request, she'll lecture them about how dumb autographs are." And this was all, of course, back in the day before selfies and pictures were the things that were asked of by celebrities. But wow, I can only imagine how much worse she would be now if someone asked for a picture instead of an autograph. Yikes, I would not want to be that person. Finally, there, number 5, Justin Bieber. So since Justin has come out many times that he struggled with addiction and he's in a completely different place now, I'm going to consider this story about Justin being rude to fans kind of like past Justin, as I don't think he would do this sort of stuff today. But either way, the tea is piping hot here, so I still thought I'd include it with that little disclaimer added. So Justin, a few years back, got into a few scandals where it seemed like he was being disrespectful to his fans. One time was when allegedly a fan tried to get a selfie with Justin and he replied something about how her lack of respect for him made him sick. And then there was another time where he was accused of spitting on a group of fans that were gathered below his hotel balcony in 2013. But after he got a lot of backlash for doing this, one of his reps had to come out saying that people were not directly below him and he didn't actually spit on anyone. But the fact that he would even do a gesture like that to his fans below is kind of shady to me. And at number 4, Chevy Chase.
Hey, yeah, real talk though, boy, you spit on me, boy, I'm gonna wait outside, bro. I'm gonna fade you. I'll fade you the chance I get, you feel me?
So Chevy is another
no longer a fan.
A few stories that have given him a bad rep. And he actually has a pretty famous history among people in the industry of being difficult to work with. There are countless accounts of him being disrespectful to coworkers. So based off that, you can probably imagine he's not the nicest to fans either. Actor and comedian Rob Huebel is someone that shared their really terrifying encounter with Chase. Huebel said that he was a huge fan of Chase's and he went backstage to meet him at an Upright Citizens Brigade show. While he was telling Chase what a huge fan he was of his, allegedly Chase responded to this love by slapping the man so hard in the face that he saw red. What? And then Chevy tried to make a joke of it by saying, quote, "Can't you see I'm talking to someone, kid?" And I do want to say, in life, I really do like to believe there's always two sides to every story before I make a judgment on someone, but wow, this is probably the worst one I've ever heard, and I really don't know how you could even explain away why you slapped a fan. This is
right, like he ain't paid you.
Christina Aguilera. So Christina is another person who has a bad rep among other celebrities. While Valerie Bertinelli was on Andy Cohen's Late Show, he asked her to spill the tea on why she did not like Christina Aguilera. Bertinelli clarified that she and Aguilera didn't have a feud, but Aguilera did snub her at one of her ex-husband Eddie Van Halen's concerts. Britnelli described the situation by saying, quote, "I was a fan at that time, and I went up to her because she was at a Van Halen concert. And I said, oh my god, I think you're a beautiful singer. And she just went like, yeah, whatever. She gave me the cold shoulder, and I thought, bitch, I'm a fan. You couldn't just be nice to me." So yeah, clearly not a really friendly encounter. After Cohen asked Britnelli if she's seen Aguilera since, she replied saying, quote, "I have not, no. But you know what? She might have gotten better, but I heard she hasn't." And I just love how she finished it off with that final burn, like, oh my god, what a legend. Then in at number 2, Hugh Grant. So I included Hugh Grant on this list because he's yet another celebrity that has had some unsavory encounters with other celebrities,
he looked old.
including John
But he didn't age, didn't he? Ooh, shit. That's crazy.
Stewart, who had banned Hugh Grant from his show, The Daily Show. Stewart admitted to this in a Q&A he did with Stephen Colbert. Well, he revealed that his show had some very controversial guests. Grant was the rudest person on the show. He said, quote, "Grant was giving everyone shit the whole time, and he's a big pain in the ass." Stewart continued that while promoting his new film at the time, Did You Hear About the Morgans?, Grant openly griped about the clip chosen to run on the show. He said, quote, "What is that clip? It's a terrible clip." Grant angrily asked, to which the host shot back, quote, "Well, then make a better effing movie." Which is just so savage. Like, this is why I love him. But after this came out, Grant actually was pretty understanding about the whole situation and joked on Twitter that Stewart was correct to give him a kicking. So after that, I would hope that the incident was just sort of a one-off for Hugh Grant, and it seems that he's most likely changed since he's able to do that now, which is really good to see.
I guess.
And then up at number 1, Jennifer Lopez. So taking the top spot,
we all heard the story.
J-Lo. And before doing this video, I had no idea that she had such a mean streak, but I literally found like a 20-page article online with all of the mean stuff that she has publicly done. So I can only imagine all the mean stuff she has done behind the scenes to people. One of the biggest things that have caused people to think she's mean in real life is the fact that she constantly talks shit about other actresses publicly. Among the names she has publicly dissed are huge stars like Gwyneth Paltrow, Winona Ryder, and Cameron Diaz. When speaking about these women, the common theme was that she did not think they are good actresses, and she didn't feel they deserved their success. Another strike on J-Lo's record is that she apparently does not talk to service people. Instead, she makes her assistants talk to them for her. This came out when the United Airlines attendant said he offered her a drink on flight, but J-Lo refused to answer and told her personal assistant to say to the flight attendant, "Please tell him I'd like a Diet Coke and lime," instead of literally just telling him,
wow,
"Do you know much?" And the last thing that's probably not true, but
I would spilt that Coke all on her. I'm telling you, I would have.
Really funny.
And it wouldn't have been a diet one. It would have been a regular one.
Was that A-Rod, now fiance, is allegedly terrified of J-Lo. She allegedly gave him a list of rules that he has to follow to be with her, and that he's been given an exact position of where to stand when they are on red carpets together, which is just hilarious. I doubt that one's true, but I just thought,
it might be true.
All from me on this. Please let me know what you think about all these mean celebrities down below. But before I go, as always, I'm going to shout out a few comments from part 2. So
look, that's crazy though, man. Look. The way that people just, I don't know what gets to them. Y'all let me know in the comments down below, like, what's going on? You feel me? Like, why are people like this? Like, how do they get like this? Is it possible for you to get like this if you climb that ladder and you get to that level? Do you think it like this? Just put some thoughts out there, you know what I'm saying? It's all about conversation, corrective conversation, you know what I'm saying? Respectful conversation, and that's what we do the best on this channel right here. And like I always say, man, hope y'all safe out here, spread love, because there's too much hate in this world. Love you guys, see y'all in the next video. And I'm out though.
Hold up, I'ma give them time to fold up. She think I'ma flex on her when I roll up. Shit, from the toes up. When it comes to my drip, it's different. Get the